It's Klayton, aka Celldweller, and I'm here today in collaboration with Vintage King Audio to talk to you about the 4MS Spectral Multiband Resonator. They say that a sound is worth 1,000 words, or something like that. And this is one of those examples where listening to it is going to tell you a lot more than me just blabbing about it. Let's check this out. So you can hear, with that white noise output, how it resonates in keys. There are scales built into this thing, and I'm going to show you right now how to change those. You're going to want to hold down this black button in the rotate button. You don't want to just press it once because that's a different function. You want to hold it down and twist. And when you do that, you'll see those colors changing on the bottom, which signify the different scales. You can see what those scales are in the manual. I'm in a Western scale right now. Now if I want to actually transpose the pitch of what I'm hearing, if you just press that button once, you'll see this top LED changing, which will actually transpose your sound. So you have a resonance setting which will definitely affect the strength of those overtones. There are other settings over here that will affect the way the notes are moving around the scale when you turn the rotate knob. One of those is this morph knob. And if the morph knob is all the way counterclockwise, when you move it, it will snap immediately to the next set of notes, as you'll hear here. Now, if I were to move that morph knob, the more I turn it to the right, the slower that transition is between those notes. It's much more fluid and pretty cool musically. So in the lower right, you have a morph knob, and what that will do is as you turn that clockwise, it will spread the notes out in the scale. Again, here's a case where listening to it is going to tell you a lot more than me talking about it. The great thing about almost all of these features on this module is they can all be influenced by control voltage, so you can control them using voltages and you don't have to sit here with your hands moving them in real time, which makes this very expressive and musical. So let's take a look at me running some external audio through the SMR. So I'm going to use a loop from my sample-based instrument Transport. So here's the loop all by itself. And let's bring in the SMR. And let's mute my original loop. So right now we're hearing the loop going through the SMR 100% wet. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but these faders affect the volume of each band. So if I turn them all down, you've got nothing, and I can actually turn them up one at a time. And these can also be modulated by control voltage per band, which is pretty awesome. So I don't want to sit here and rotate this by hand. So I can send a gate to this rotate input. There's a left and a right, so there's a clockwise and a counterclockwise. I'm going to actually send a gate into the clockwise rotate, and what that'll do is every time it gets a clock, it will rotate the scale by one step. So let's do that and hear how that sounds. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Let's lay that original loop over the top of the Spectral Multiband Resonator and hear how that sounds. Let's see what this thing sounds like when you send gates into the left and right inputs. So I'm using two gates into the left and right input that are happening at different times. I still have that same gate from the last patch that is advancing the clockwise trigger of the scale. I'm also using the white noise outputs to generate the actual sound. Let's check it out. Now I'm just going to add a sine wave into the rotate CVN, and that will make things even more interesting. Thanks for sticking all the way through this episode of Celldweller Production. Hope you learned something good about the Spectral Multiband Resonator, and you might want one yourself. So head over to vintageking.com and they can get one to you stat. There's lots more of this kind of content coming to my channel, so subscribe or save this playlist so you don't miss out on anything. But until next time, this is Klayton, aka Celldweller, signing off.